Okay, so my name is Sami and I'll be your Battledeck presenter. This is the second edition of the Battledecks, and it's going to be fun. I hope you have your laughing shoes on. So, welcome again, and let's have some fun with the Battledecks. I'm going to talk about a bit the concept and what we're actually going to do if you haven't been at the previous edition. So, here are the official Battledeck rules. Each contestant will present on the topic, which is best Git stories. We will have 4 contestants. We will meet them a bit later on. They're fabulous people. We all love Perl.
And Git.
And Git, yeah. So, each contestant has a unique slide deck of 12 images. They have 5 minutes to complete the deck. And the judges, which are those 2 lovely people there, and myself, will score them on 5 criteria and assign a final score out of 25. The highest score will determine the winner. They will win an amazing prize that is so valuable that we just can't measure it. Okay, here are the scoring categories. We have content and credibility, poise and gestures, flow, covering all slides, humor and audience response. That's you laughing, but you don't have to. So, here are the contestants. We have he's hiding, but you can see him. We have Alex. He's hiding also. We have Tudor. And we have behind. Are you ready? I'm gonna say yes. Okay, Matt, are you ready? Ready to roll your cigarette, I meant.
Right, so I have no idea what the next slide is going to be until I hit it. Excellent.
Yes. Just think long and hard about it.
It's a bit late in the evening for that.
Then just think long on it.
Okay, so can I just use? Yeah. Will left click do it?
I think that this one is easier. I'm not sure if that will work.
Let's finger.
Okay, so you have 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, it does. 2012 year in review of Git. Oh, you see, 2012 was a few years ago, which was great because that was the era when on most servers that you ran into, either your aliases didn't work, or better still, it produced a classic Git message, which basically, you've seen the Git man page generator, there was a reason for this. In 2012, almost all Git error messages could easily be replaced with, there was an error lol. Which was absolutely fantastic when I was trying to help people to do things. The general answer was to get them to give me the output of Git status and the output of Git log, and then to say, you know what, I've still no idea what the problem is, you are still screwed, how about we cp-a your repository, reset it and start a new clone, because it's just going to be quicker and otherwise we'll be late to the pub. Object-oriented programming is apparently relevant to Git at this point. Well, yes, I mean, Git is absolutely made of objects in the same way that PHP is made of programming. This also comes along with an exceptionally bad idea. Bad Reddit, well, admittedly, has anybody ever looked at Stephen Little's commit logs? They're basically about like 3 lines, about 3 words, often including the word lol, or stuff, more stuff, aha, even more stuff, which very much fits along the theme of Bad Reddit if you've ever looked at any of the comments. Object-oriented programming is definitely dead. For the simple reason of nobody understands how Git stores its objects. There's a bunch of SHA-1 hashes. They're exactly as informative as Stephen's commit messages, and I don't even understand. So, bang false, it's funny because it's true. Well, you see, so are many things about Git. For example, the fact that when you do a commit, it may not actually commit anything because you forgot to do an add. Git RM, on the other hand, you don't strictly need to do, but it can get confused, especially with Git MV. Now, okay, you can MV and RM things by hand, but this is also not necessarily false, and really, none of this is necessarily a constant. I have no idea who she is. I think she's being eaten by a camel. I have no idea, really. Oh, look! Somebody found baby photos of Linus Torvalds. Well, have you ever looked at the inside of gitweb.cgi? I recommend it if you want to be committed. Other than that, please don't. That thing is hypnotic! All glory to the hypno butterfly. No, I've got nothing. Is there another way to write regex? Other than like you put the /x on the end and then you throw a bunch of strings at it and then you write a genetic algorithm to generate the regexes for you and then that accidentally produces the Perl 5 compiler. Don't do that either. Somebody just attempted to do a rebase on top of a three-way merge and summoned anacondas. Ooh, it's Shadowcat's customers. This is what happens when you suddenly realise that you did a reset -- hard, back to the wrong version. Now your working copy makes absolutely no sense. It's like a map of the London Underground when you're trying to navigate New York. More importantly, you're now going to have to dig through the object store in order to try and find where your commit was and pray that it didn't already get GC'd. I have no idea how many slides I have yet, but this is basically what I think every time I read one of the Git man pages. Also, fuck consistency, because having the same option mean the same thing on more than one command. Clearly that would be a fantastic idea for anybody who wasn't the authors of Git. Hey!
Actually,
How long did I run?
You still have 1 minute, so congratulations. That was Matt, and he was funny. Okay. Are you nervous, Alex?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready? You. Okay. Git and Perl. Until pretty recently, the Perl and Git story wasn't a story. Perl was, and most of the stuff were on subversion stuff like SourceForge, if my memory serves right, and such. I think there are some people that still use that. Don't know why. But the thing is that until recently, the Git and Perl communities were two things that were not together at all. So, but until recently, because somebody got the brilliant idea of starting to move Perl modules and I think some of the core onto Git. And so the love story begins, and here is the guy that had the brilliant idea of doing this, and I think he still regrets it to this day. Okay, now, the problem with having Git and Perl together is that sometimes you want to have a look like this, but your hair is this. So you get a mop, paint it in the color you need it, and put it on your head. The Git and using Git, sometimes it feels like you're talking with a transformer. Just, it says it's gonna do a thing, it does another thing, and the result is a third completely opposite thing than you had expected to have. For example, try invoking Git minus h and minus help. The result is completely different, but I don't know why. I think 95 was a pretty good year for developers, because I think Matt can correct me if I think that CGI was in vogue back then, and some disco. Yes. And how it was, Matt's library or the CGI library?
CJLib.pl.
Yeah, not that one. There was a collection of CGI scripts that everyone used it.
Oh God, formail.pl, no.
Yeah, exactly. So that one is this undercover. Yeah, well, what happened? Then Moose happened, and trying to understand Moose, at least at the beginning, is like trying to learn Git by using only the error messages. But then you might find some documentation and you feel like you found the heaven until something nefarious happens and the bacon is stolen. But at that moment, you start not to care at all because your sanity starts slipping through the cracks and you're just thinking you're a fairy, starfish. So, and then everyone dies. But from time to time, you will get a fresh-blooded intern or junior that is like, oh, Git is so fun, and he's going to be so enthusiastic until you can't wait for him to get to the insanity that sometimes happen. Yeah. Don't use public Git repos and private code.
1 more minute.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes that happens, or you can just do whatever you do to resolve the problem.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Tudor, you ready? Make them laugh, no pressure.
Testing. Yep. So let's start the Battledeck. Yeah. Well, first of all, these things, people don't really care what you say, but they laugh anyway because the funny slides. And this is one of them. You must obey the algorithm. No, I have no clue. Fuck it. But you have to kiss the camel, or she has to kiss you. And no, totally not related to Git, but kiss the camel. Yeah, back in those days. Well, in these guys' days, the days of spinners and jumping cars, SVN was fashionable, not Git. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, and we got GitHub now. We contribute. And every week and every month of the year, we contribute to it. Less or more. We have pull requests. We have, what do we have? Private repositories, public repositories, code reviews. Damn them. Yeah. And then you have those emails that come to you, that one guy submit a code review and then one another merge some shit, and that's okay until and then you have to turn them off because they're really annoying.
Yeah, emails are
Yeah, they're really annoying. And the mailman jumped 15 feet. Totally not true, but that's what happens when you git push minus force, right? You jump things, and you end up in shit. Yeah, karma and Git are totally related. Karma can be a real bitch while you're doing Git. For example, if you pull a thing and you have all those conflicts, you have to solve each and every other guy's conflicts. Yes, we shall. Mihai is he's a real big fan of this guy with his golden locks and that wonderful flag behind him. Well, this would resemble git reset minus minus hard. Yeah, you reset everything. Lectures on Git. Yeah, I've been to a lecture once. So it was held by Sawyer's, and I think I'll remember it forever because he was very clear what Git represents. A big bucket of small shits linked together by stuff. So that's how you should remember Git. The big bucket of small shits. This guy's shits. Totally funny. Putting with lips, duck faces. Nope. Yeah, Git stash is for pussies. And that's the gun of Rambo. You should check out directly. You should never stash. Hell, my code's better than the others, so fuck it. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Well, I should leave him 1 minute so he can empty his RAM.
And you're lucky.
Thank you too.
Next up we have, no, not him, the other one. Yes, we have Mihai. He looks like Rambo as well.
So hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Mihai. I work at Amazon, and well, firstly I want to give you a short story about my t-shirt. You know, it says we need to talk, and well, that's the main reason why I'm in front of you. The second reason is I also have a Git story to tell you, and I've prepared 12 slides for this. It's about how I, like, you know, Amazon, the company I work for, gave me this t-shirt. They also told me I should teach some juniors about how Git works. And, well, the first thing I told them is, well, you know, SVN, that's like 90s, we're like hipsters. Maybe you're not as old as I am, but, you know, Git is way more cooler. Or, you know, stop being hipsters and use SVN and start using Git. Because it's, you know, so much better. So there I was with the participants at this training and they're all backend developers. They didn't know very much. Hopefully they knew how to look at the screen. So what they were mostly doing wrong was, you know, starting to code after code freeze. Just like, you know, watching the monitor from behind. They never knew what was going on because they didn't actually understand how it works. So I started to, you know, act as an 8-year-old to talk using their language, but also with a Morgan Freeman voice. So not to be very boring. So, well, main problems besides code freeze. Yeah, I know. When I was talking about the slides, I thought, I really chose the slides really carefully. So yeah, I was talking to them about merge complex. Yeah, I've actually seen them before, so they did a pretty good job. You know that this song with this guy with the pink pineapple. Pen something, whatever. I'm trying to remember them. Well, anyway, they were all jolly about it, and you know they know how to put commit by commit and do more commits and merges better. But things started to go a bit crazy because, as I was telling you, they're juniors and they were thinking that, yeah, of course, they all know everything, yet they didn't. So they've started merging all the code they had, but without properly resolving conflicts. And when you're releasing in production, you get things like this. And because of them, we didn't know exactly what to do. Yeah, it's like you're using a mobile phone and you hope it doesn't explode because you've built it with all the juniors who do not merge properly. Yeah, I've just put this slide because this is funny. Moving on. Yeah, and if at some point you do look into what they're doing and you see that how they're merging and everything, you just give yourself a facepalm and yeah, move on.
That was Mihai. Thank you, Mihai. You're the best, Mihai. Okay, so we'll take a few minutes to do some judging, and we'll come back with the winner for our Battledecks. But before that, I just want to say one more thing. This was the 11th edition of Cluj.PM. And I would like to say thank you to Amalia for all the effort she put in all of the 11 editions. And thank you for being in the Perl community. So, it's time for commercials. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, so apparently we have a winner already. Sami, as part of the judging team. These judgmental bastards. Please come announce the winner.
Yes, I'm one of the judgmental bastards. And we decided that our winner for the second edition of the Battledecks is, we don't have any drums, but drum roll. Matt. Come get your prize.
Definitely want one.
Speech.
Wow.
I would like to thank the Academy.
Oh, come on, I had to make up 12 slides of random rubbish a few minutes ago to get this. How am I supposed to be able to make up anything else now? I have to admit with the whole thing of stash everything, I'm kind of like, no, that's what you do before you do a merge, before completely forgetting that you stashed it, and then finding that code 3 months later and going, oh, that's the fix to the bug that just brought production down. Yes, I've broken it already, just like it.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks to the entire team that helped organize yet another edition of Cluj.PM. And I want to thank you all for being here. Next, as we know, Matt likes beer. We're going to head over Maimuța Plângătoare to have a couple of beers. We've booked some tables, so hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you.
You're all insane. Thank you for having me.
Niciodată să nu vorbești obosit că te încurci.